something like this. I want to give special thanks to our dignitaries here today. I believe we have Judge Moss. Can you stand up, please? And there you go. She supports us very well in the community. She knows what it's all about, community giving. And then special thanks to UNLV Dr. Larry Ashley is acting as a coordinator of today's Symposium. Where's Dr. Ashley? Raise your hand, give a shout out. There you go. So I'd like to take a
people person, which I guess I always was, I never realized it. And I got into teaching the DARE program, Drug Abuse Resistance Education program, and then the GREAT program, which is Gang Resistance Education and Training. I moved up to Northern Nevada as a police officer with the Sheriff's Department, and then I came here almost 9 years ago, so I'm with the North Las Vegas Police Department, and I've been very blessed to have the opportunity to work.
Jenny talked about what a gang. She's right. A lot of these gangs are basically a few kids get together. They're either protecting themselves or protecting something that they think that they know, that they want to feel and get involved in. But before we get into that, one of the big things that you have to understand is you have to understand the kids. You have to understand the kids that you're dealing with. You're not out there not knowing what to do, running around, and not getting involved or getting into trouble. Dress code. She talked about that earlier. The only problem is a lot of these kids, when they go out there, they dress baggy pants, the shirt that I have on now. Why do they do that? Well, sometimes it's not always trying to get into a gang, but also because they don't want to stand out and they don't want to be bullied.
They're already on the street, they're out in the field, and they can respond to people who are in crisis, and it provides for immediate response. We have people out in the field, they're uniformed officers, they are not like calling out a SWAT team. Are from Ross Neal and the Clark County Detention Center, and one of the doctors has many years in corrections dealing with mental illness and has a lot of experience on what can work with an inmate in crisis, and therefore that can bleed out in patrol. Currently we have 747
solved. They get a chance to reflect on their behavior and practice being more appropriate and pro-social. However, when I'm up there, the majority of kids that I receive are on multiple psychiatric. What is actually present that can be helped with psychiatric treatment? Not every behavior, of course, is a psychiatric symptom. And so what we wind up doing is, for an appropriate diagnosis, is using the diagnostic manual. Psychiatry's
people caught up in gang activity because this is a leadership skill, and sometimes the violations are episodic. So I think bipolar, the actual bipolar, could be a contributor to the understanding of some gang activity. The other ones are a little
bit about the impact of substance abuse. I'm not used to this. I'm a roamer, so I'm not stalking this table. I do when she's at the table, though. So I do have some biases. Some of my students know I got a ton of biases, so it's not a few. One is that I assume everybody that I see has a co-parent schizophrenic anyway. Right? You know, in the legal business, we have a term called status offenders. If an adult does it, it's not against the law. If you're under 18 and do it, it's against the law.